how are you? I hope all are good. So today let me start English chapter number 15, The Gift of the Magi. So this story about the two husband and wives. So वो क्या गिफ्ट देते हैं क्रिसमस पे एक दूसरे को? So let's read. $1.87, that was all, and 60 cents of is in pennies. Pennies said 1 and 2 at a time by bulldozing the grocer and the vegetable man and the butcher until one's checks burned with the silent imputation of parsimony that such close dealing implied. 3 times Della counted it, $1.87. 3 बार Della ने गिना $1.87, and the next day would be Christmas. वो काउंट कर रहा था और जो है अगले दिन क्या था? क्रिसमस का फेस्टिवल था. There was clearly nothing left to do but sit down and cry. So Della did it, which instigates the moral reflection that life is made up of soaps and smile. Perhaps more of soaps and less of smiles. While Della is feeling sorry for herself, let us take a look at her home, a furnished flat at dollars per week. It did not exactly beg a description, but needs lot of furnishing in the entrance. Where was a letter box into which the letter would go and an electric button that did not work. Also, a parrot appertaining. Thereunto was a card bearing the name Mr. James Dillingham Young. The Dillingham had been flung on the breeze during a former period of prosperity when its possessor was being paid $3 per week. Now, when the income was shrunk to $20, the letters of Dillingham looked blurred as though they were thinking seriously of contracting to a modest and unassuming deed. But whenever Mr. James Dillingham Young came home and reached his flat above, he was called Jim and greatly hugged by Mrs. James. Dillingham Young already introduced to us Della, which is all very good. Della finished her cry and attended to her cheeks with the powder rag. She stood by the window and looked out dully at a grey cat walking a grey fence in a grey backyard. वो परेशान थी कि उसके पास पैसे कम है और उसको गिफ्ट लाना है. Tomorrow would be Christmas Day and she had only $1.87 with which to buy Jim a person many happy hour. She had spent planning for something nice for him, something fine and rare and sterling, something just a little bit near to being worthy of the honor of being owned by Jim. There was a pier glass between the windows of the room. Suddenly she whirled from the window and stood before the glass. Her eyes were shining brilliantly, but her face had lost its color within 20 seconds. Rapidly she pulled down her hair and let it fall to its full length. Now there were 2 possessions of the James Dillingham Youngs in which they both took a mighty pride. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. So the other was Della's hair. Had the Queen of Sheba lived in the flat across to air shaft, Della would have let her hair hang out of the window some day to dry just to depreciate her Majesty's jewels and gifts. Had King Solomon been the janitor with all his treasures piled up in the basement, Jim would have pulled out his watch every time he passed just to see him pluck at his beard from envy. So now, Della's beautiful hair fell about her, rippling and shining like a cascade of brown waters. It reached below her knee and made itself almost a garment for her. And then she did up it again nervously and quickly. Once she faltered for a minute and stood still while a tear or two splashed on the worn red carpet. Della quickly put her old brown jacket and old brown hat with a whirl of skirts and with the brilliant sparkle still in her eyes. She cluttered out of the door and down the stairs of the street. She stopped where the sign read, Mimi Sofroim, hair goods of all kinds. Della ran up the step of the shop out of breath. Will you buy my hair? अब वो क्या कर रही थी? उसके पास पैसे कम थे तो वो गिफ्ट खरीदने के लिए क्या कर रही थी? अपने जो बाल हैं वो देना चाह रही थी. वो पूछने गई थी क्या तुम मेरे बाल खरीदोगे? So $20 said Madam मैडम ने कहा $20 लगेंगे. Lifting Della's hair with her hand. Give it to me quick, said Della. उसने कहा कि जल्दी से मुझे दे दो. Oh, at the next 2 hours, she was ransacking the stores for Jim's present. She found it at last. It surely had been made for Jim and no one else. There was no other like it in any of the stores, and she had turned all of them inside out. Okay, so it was a platinum fob chain, simple and chaste in design, properly proclaiming its value by substance alone and not be meretricious ornamentations. As all good things should do, it was even worthy of the watch. As soon as she saw it, she knew that it must be Jim's. It was like him. Okay, quietness and value, the description applied to both. उसने लिए एक बहुत सुंदर सी चेन खरीदी. Okay, so $21 they took from her for it, and she hurried home with the 87 cents. So with the chain on his watch, Jim might be properly anxious about the time in any company. Grand as the watch was he, मतलब उसकी वॉच के लिए वो बहुत सुंदर चेन खरीद के लाई थी. He sometimes looked at it on the sly on account of the old leather stuff that he used in the place of a chain. When Della reached home, she got out her curling irons to make her looks pretty. Once more, within 40 minutes, her head was covered with tiny clothes, lying curls that made her look wonderfully like a Tron schoolboy. He looked, मतलब उसने अपने बाल जो है बॉयकट करा लिए थे. She looked at her reflection in the mirror long, carefully and critically. If Jim doesn't kill me, she said to herself before he takes a second look at me. मतलब उसको ये भी चिंता थी कि मेरे बाल को मेरी हालत देखकर जिम मुझे मार न डाले. He'll say, I look like chores girl, but what could I do? Or what could I do with $1.87? Jim was never late. Della doubled the fob chain in her hand and sat on the corner of the table near the door. वो जिम का वेट कर रही थी वहाँ पे, that he always entered. Then she heard the step on the stair away down on the first flight, and she turned white for just a moment. She had a habit of saying little silent prayer about the simplest everyday things, and now she whispered, "Please God, make him think I am still pretty." The door opened and Jim stepped in and closed it. दरवाजा खुलता है और जिम अंदर आता है. He looked thin and very serious. Poor fellow, he was only 22 and to be burdened with a family. He needed a new overcoat and gloves. वो 22 साल का था और उसके ऊपर फैमिली का जो है बोझ था, मतलब परिवार था उसका 22 साल की उम्र में. Jim stepped inside the door and started at Della. There was an expression in them that she could not read. It terrified her. It was not anger, no surprise, no disapproval, no horror, not any of these sentiments that she had been prepared for. So he simply stared at her fixedly with a peculiar expression on his face. Della stood up and went for him. Jim, darling, she cried, don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut off and sold it because. वो जिम से कहती है कि प्लीज मुझे देख के रोना मत, मैंने अपने बालों को कटवा के बेच दिया. बिकॉज आई कुडेंट हैव लिव्ड थ्रू क्रिसमस विदाउट गिविंग यू अ प्रेजेंट. मतलब मैं नहीं चाहती थी कि क्रिसमस पे मैं तुम्हें कोई गिफ्ट ना दे पाऊँ. मुझे तुम्हें गिफ्ट देना था, इसलिए मैंने क्या किया, अपने सर के बाल कटवा दिए और बेच दिए. इट विल ग्रो आउट अगेन, ये दोबारा आ जाएंगे. यू विल माइंड, विल यू? आई जस्ट हैड टू डू इट. माई हेयर ग्रोज awfully fast. Say Merry Christmas, Jim, and let's be happy. You don't know what a beautiful, nice gift I have got for you. You have cut off your hair. Jim ने पूछा, तुमने अपने बाल कटवा दिए? Okay, laboriously, as if he had difficulty in understanding what Della said. Cut it off and sold it. तुमने कटवा दिया और बेच भी दिए, said Della. Don't you like me just as well anyhow? I am me without my hair and all. Jim looked about the room curiously. You say your hair is gone, he said with an air almost of idiotically. You needn't look for it, said Della. It's sold. I tell you, sold and gone too. It's Christmas Eve, boy. Be good to me, for it went for you. Maybe the hairs of my head were numbered, she went on with a sudden serious sweetness. But nobody could ever count my love for you. Shall I serve you the supper, Jim? Jim drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. उसने वो पैकेट अपनी जो गिफ्ट उसके लिए लाया था उसको निकाला और टेबल पे फेंक दिया. Don't make any mistake there, he said. About me, I don't think there's anything in the way of haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. But if you'll unwrap that package, you may see why you had me going a while at first. White fingers and nimble tore at the string and paper, and then ecstatic scream of joy, and then alas, a quick feminine change to hysterical tears and wails, necessitating the immediate employment of all the comforting powers of the lord of the flat. For there lay the combs, द सेट ऑफ कॉम. अब वो उसके लिए क्या लाया था गिफ्ट में? कॉम, यानी कि कंघी. कंघी का पूरा सेट था उसके लिए. द सेट ऑफ कॉम, साइड एंड बैक, द डेला हैड worshipped for long in a Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell with jewel rims, just the shade to wear in the beautiful vanished hair. They were expensive combs. She knew, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession, and now they were hers, but the tresses that should have adorned by them were gone. अब उसके लिए वो कॉम लाया था, कंघी लाया था, बट उसने क्या किया? उसको गिफ्ट देने के लिए क्रिसमस पे अपने बाल कटवा दिए. But she hugged them to her bosom, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and smile and say, "My hair grows so fast, Jim. Jim, मेरे बाल बहुत जल्दी बढ़ जाएंगे, चिंता मत करो." And then Della leaped up like a little sing cat and cried, "Oh!" Jim had not yet seen his beautiful present. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. "Is not it a dandy, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You will have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it." अब वो कहती है, अब तो मुझे अपनी, वो उसको समझाती है कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बाल मेरे जल्दी आ जाएंगे, चिंता मत करो. अच्छा, वो कहती है, चलो अपनी वॉच मुझे दो. Instead of obeying, Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. वो काउच पर बैठ जाता और आराम से अपना सर पे हाथ पे सर रख के आराम से बैठता और हंसता है. Then said he, "Let's put our Christmas present away and keep him a while. They are too nice to use just at present. I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs." मैंने अपनी जो घड़ी है वो बेच दी तुम्हारे कॉम खरीदने के लिए. अब उसने बाल बेचे उसकी घड़ी की चेन लाने के लिए, ठीक है, और जिम ने घड़ी बेची उसके बालों के लिए कॉम लाने के लिए. अब वो दोनों का ही गिफ्ट यूजलेस हो गया. ओके, सो एंड नाउ सपोज यू पुट द चॉप्स ऑन. द मैगी, एज यू नो, वो वाइस मैन, वंडरफुली वाइस मैन, who brought gifts to the babe in the manager. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were not doubt-wise ones, possibly bearing the privilege of exchange in case of duplication. And here I have lamely related to you the uneventful chronicle of two foolish children in a flat who most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures of their house. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that of all who give gifts, these two were the wisest. Of all who give and receive gifts, such as they are wisest everywhere, they are wisest, they are the man. वो दोनों क्रिसमस गिफ्ट लाए, दोनों के लिए वो यूजलेस थे. So students, I hope you all are very well understand full chapter. So we will meet you the next class. Thank you.